Hello and welcome to another episode of the Entrepreneur Enlightenment TV. This is where I bring you stories that will inspire you, will make your heart open, and will help you achieve your purpose and drive towards your destiny. Today I have a very special guest, Celeste, and she's going to share her story and she will also going to share her expertise. And Celeste, I'll let you introduce yourself.
Thank you for having me on the show today. I really appreciate that. My name is Celeste Moore. I'm a certified image consultant, and I help entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, CEOs create a personal brand that's not only a first impression, but a lasting impression.
Wow. And I want to ask you this question. When you were very young, were you dressing up? How did it started?
So that's a great question. The first experience I can remember, I was 12 years old and I was living in an affluent area, but my parents weren't affluent. They're very middle class. And I went to this mall and I was gravitated toward this piece of clothing. It was I don't remember, it was a designer jean. And I didn't even know it was a designer, but I just knew that it was quality. And I went over and I said, I have to have these clothes or this pair of pants. And I remember my mom saying, no, you're gonna have to babysit if you want to get those yourself. So I did. And ever since then, I've been drawn to quality clothing, miles away. I can spot it.
Wow. So you were 12 when that first came to you, but I understood you didn't study this from the beginning. You studied something else. What was it that you actually went to school for?
Yeah, so first I was a biology major wanting to go to med school. All my family's in medicine. And then I got through organic chem. I said, oh, nope, I'm going to switch to political science and international studies to be a lawyer. I want to go to law school. I finished my degree and then I said, oh, law school is not for me as well. I'm going to go delve into my passions. And this is one of my passions.
Wow, that's very interesting. And do you feel that what you learned in school, does it help you in your career right now, or do you feel it's totally unrelated?
So honestly, I'm so grateful for my college education. I went a couple years later than normal children, and kids. I started at 21, and it was really important to me to be educated. And I feel that as a poli-sci international studies major, I've learned a lot about different cultures and the way people are presenting, working together in global economy. So yes, I feel there is some relation to what I do now.
Yes, I can feel like I can feel it, intuitively. I have like goosebumps. So I feel that that's so important because I don't know how you work, but I assume every person is an individual and they have to fit to where they are, right? And you have to understand why someone would be more inclined to some sort of clothing than other type of clothing.
Yes, culture is a very big component to that, and everybody is very individualized and it's very customized. So depending on lifestyle, climate, yeah, like culture, country, availability, and different cultures have different viewpoints on how to show up professionally. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So you started your business in 20. Give me a bit of the story with your starting your business and then you had your daughter. Like, give me a bit of the background on that.
Sure. So I graduated college in 2003 with my bachelor's, and then like I said, I didn't go to law school, so I started delving into some of my passions. And one of them is I've always liked dressing up family and friends. But that to me was just a fun thing. I never thought this was going to be a career. So I've been very fortunate. Before that, I was certified as a matchmaker. And then I kind of put that on hold, got certified as an image consultant and started working with CEOs and entrepreneurs and coaches and lawyers and you name it, every avenue.
Mhm.
And well, right before I got certified, or right when I got certified as an image consultant, I found out I was pregnant with my daughter. So,
Um,
um, yeah, that was Lord. having a child and then trying to grow a business was very challenging. So
Yeah,
that was back in 2006. Yeah.
yes, I bet. So when you found out you have a daughter, like you are pregnant, and then you were also starting your career, what went through your mind? Like, what did you have thoughts of not doing the career and raising the baby, or how was it?
So I have been a sole parent. My daughter did not have her father was not around after conception, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
He was there for her birth, but that was it. And so for me, the really difficult journey was how do I balance having a daughter and building a life for myself as a career, as a woman who wanted a career. I wanted both.
Mm-hmm.
And that was really important to me because I did not want to lose self identity, which I think a lot of women do. And that's either by choice or circumstance. And that's something that I don't know how, but I was able to do it with help and just being, very strong-willed about that, if you
Mm-hmm.
will.
So when you had, so there was no choice. So you knew you needed to have a career, and also you didn't have a choice because you didn't have a partner to lean on. So you had to make it for yourself and for your daughter. Was there any time where you doubted yourself, like during this process when you had like a young baby and it's so hard, and then you're still striving for success in your career?
Oh yeah, there was so many moments. And I want to tell you there wasn't linear for me. I went through ups and downs and I was stagnant in this career for a long time because I didn't know how I was going to provide the right type of life for my daughter, making, not that much in the beginning. And I hired a nanny to help me so that I could do networking and this and this and this. And I want to be totally transparent. I went through a bankruptcy. I lost a lot I built something that I couldn't sustain. Um, I lost two homes and I had to start all over. And I think that that was really hard for me because I would never, no matter what, I was going to make anything happen so that I wouldn't be in that situation again. But, sometimes life throws you lots of obstacles and being by myself, I didn't know yet. So but I came up from that little by little by little. And, we all, I think, go through ups and downs in life and it's okay.
Yeah. So when you went through the bankruptcy, like when you had to kind of face it for yourself in a sense, what is, I want to ask, what was the hardest, and then what was the most empowering thought or belief that pulled you through?
Well, I think the most difficult part was I felt like a failure. And nobody taught me that in business, you're going to have successes and failures. Or I don't even like the word failure. I think they're lessons. I think there that was a lesson that I needed to learn, if you will. And I would never and have never gone down that route again. So I guess, it was a huge lesson. And I feel that the biggest motivator, if you will, the most amazing thing that kept me going and moving forward, honestly, my daughter, she was literally my everything since I've had her. She's made me want to be a better person. She's made me more stable and grounded and humble and has taught me so much in life that there's she's always been and always will be the most important and driving factor in my career.
How old is she now?
She's 17.
Oh, wow. Wow, what a journey.
Yeah.
So when you are now facing difficulty based on the fact that you faced big difficulties, do you feel that it's easier for you to go over the, entrepreneurship bumps? Do you feel like you have the muscle, you develop the muscle to do it?
Yeah, that's such a good question because I do feel that I'm not as hard on myself. I have more value. I understand that there are challenges, like you said, the ups and downs, and they're not as significant, I feel. That was such a huge turning point for so many reasons, right? No one wants to go through a bankruptcy. It's embarrassing. I mean, when you look at like I couldn't handle my finances or whatever happened, it was 2008 when the whole, real estate
Uh-huh.
market crashed. And that was the time that it happened for me. And yes, I feel that now I have the more muscle, like you said. And I think it's just practice and not beating yourself up and really knowing and trusting yourself in the decisions, which when I was younger, I didn't trust myself as much.
Mm. And when you lost the two houses, do you feel like you grieved and released it? Like, do you feel you're clear of the loss, or is it still coming up sometimes? I say, I wish I didn't do this, or I wish I didn't do that.
I mean, of course, I wished I saved more money so I didn't have to experience that. But at the same time, I think that home for me was the home my daughter was born in, and I put so much love and creation into that home. So when I see pictures, I have such adoration for that home, but it's not necessarily that I lost a physical item. It was the beautiful memories that I had created in that home. So, but we have a beautiful home now with amazing memories. So I feel like, your home is where you create your home. So,
Yeah, where you put your heart, and you can always
mhm.
make a goal to buy it back later in life.
Exactly,
You
exactly.
can always go and revisit that. So when you put your hand on your heart and you want to talk with Celeste at that time when she was experiencing hardships, because we want to inspire others that maybe experience hardship, what would you tell her? What would you tell people that experience hardship at this time? Just like talk from your heart.
I would say that it's okay to make mistakes. We're human. When you don't have guidance to navigate this world of motherhood or entrepreneurship or any of that, it's okay. And it's probably more that you're going to have moments and bigger bumps. But I would say to surround yourself with those who love you, who really want the best for you and only push you in the right direction. Because as soon as I had people around me that supported me and my dreams and my goals, then my life really took more of a trajectory forward. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
And you are open with what's happening and you allow the support and the help to come.
Yes, it's so funny you say that because I thought I could do it all. And my mom was a very significant reason for that because she raised five kids by herself. And so I saw her as a role model. Well, if she can raise five kids by herself, I can sure raise one by myself. But she also wasn't running a business, which is also a second or third child. And it's such an important message to know it's okay to ask for help. It doesn't make you weak. It doesn't mean you can't handle it all. It actually will make you stronger and allow more support for you to be successful and to be happy.
Mm. And on your path to success, like after that happened and you started to have success, what were some breakthroughs? Like what were some moments where you went like, oh, I made it to the next level, or I made it to the next level?
I think for me, it was more of self-worth and value. And I felt that I actually was making a difference in people's lives. I was helping them. And in so, it was helping me. It was bringing me more joy and me more self-worth. I know that sounds a little bit insane, but that is what's happened to me. I have truly in the last 2 years since I don't want to go too much forward, but the last 2 years I've had a podcast and that podcast has truly healed me in so many ways I could never have imagined. And I've been so honored and blessed to have all these clients in my life.
Yes. And also like on the podcast, you talk to people, so you share of yourself, they share of themselves. So it makes it for a beautiful share and a beautiful collaboration as well, which is
Yes.
what we need to learn when we grow up with this idea that we have to do it by ourselves. We also learn that a podcast is more fun when you have two people and they have a conversation rather than one doing it all. So beautiful. What I like to know now is about matchmaking and then the image consultant. And probably they match, because I will assume you matchmake close with the person and then the person is matched with whatever they want to achieve in their world. So tell me a bit about matchmaking. What attracted you to it in the first place, because you were young,
Mhm.
and what happened since?
So yeah, after the matchmaking, I didn't actively matchmake. I always put it on the back burner because I was like, I don't know how I'm going to integrate this into my life and my business. The image consulting was so natural and I loved it so much. But then 2 years ago, I became a date coach as well. And I felt that that was kind of more up my alley where I'm able to talk to people and have strategies and help people get ready for dating and whatever that looks like for you if you're online dating or seeing a matchmaker, but your whole presence and your authentic self is able to you're able to present your authentic self, right? If you're going to go on a date or if you're going to a business meeting. So those two kind of just fit in naturally. And I kind of have both. I have the
Mhm.
ones that are just focused on their careers and really building and growing. And then I have people that need help in the dating arena. So yeah.
Hmm. And I saw you focus on men, and that was a curiosity for me because you're a woman, right? Like, why would you focus on coaching men? And can
Mhm.
you explain a little bit?
So I truly believe I have more masculine energy. I connect with men very well. I don't always, I actually do have women clients. So they are just at the same level as the man who's looking to grow and be successful. This is a type of woman who is my client. Um, I do focus on men a little bit more because my client is not the stay-at-home mom. That is not who I want to, no offense, I'm a mom. That's just not who I want for my client because I feel that I really want to help that person really grow and be successful.
Yeah, because you're driven, it makes sense to want to work with people who are driven career-wise. So,
Exactly.
okay. And the man, so tell me, so it's the man you feel like you have more man energy because you're driven. And do you, I mean, this is could be a sensitive question, but do you help them become the man that you would want, like, to kind of for them to become the man that is noble and gentle and powerful at the same time?
Yes. So I have a lot of successful women in my life that really I want to teach and educate men that chivalry is so important still, how to be really healthy, masculine men in this world. It's one thing to be successful, but there's also coming from a woman, I'm trying to create what us women are looking for. There's things that are missing today, and maybe things that men just don't know. And I'm that person to help guide them so that they can have healthy, happy relationships. Yes. And from a woman's point of view.
Yeah, I feel that because, and especially you work with like career women as well, like powerful women. And sometimes men get confused by the power of a woman and they think, I don't know, I feel in what I know so far, but I don't know as much as you know, that men get confused by a powerful woman. Like they are more inclined to be like open the door for a woman that is a little bit more I don't know how to say, I don't want to upset anyone, but like more helpless in a sense. But if you're powerful and independent, I feel the man gets confused. And you, because you work with both, like you work with career and driven people, I feel you have like this unique angle that no, you still need to be the man, you still need to open the door, you still need to, every woman needs that support and protection, no matter how independent she is.
Yes, that's so on point. Yes, it's correct. I think the one thing that the career women nowadays have challenges with is when to leave that energy at work or with your business. Because when you're bringing that energy on a date, you're going to have two masculine energies and there's going to be competition. So, of course, there's not going to be the dance, the feminine and the masculine. And it doesn't mean that that feminine is less than or it's not strong, because it is complete opposite, actually. When you're able to allow and to be in a space where a man can give and can show, you know, that he is providing you with a safe space, then you can drop into your feminine energy. And that's when truly the dance happens. And that's when you can be the masculine woman at your career, at home, if even like with your children, if that's what you choose to do. But when you're dating or when you're looking to, find a partner, that's when you have to switch the feminine and the masculine energies.
Mm-hmm. And I feel it's part of our enlightenment, because I was very in my masculine when I was in my career in nuclear engineering, and because I'm an independent woman. But also, as I developed my intuition, as I developed my meditative practice, that's more feminine, that's more being rather than go, go, go and do. So then, if you were on a date and you breathe and you just be and you are in harmony with what's happening around you, then that's the feminine side of everyone. So I encourage people to have like the both sides. And the funny thing, we didn't talk about this, but I haven't dated in 20 whatever year, because I was married for 20 years, and that marriage ended about 4 or 5 years ago. So we didn't talk about this, but this is your opportunity to show your expertise. What would be like three pieces of advice that you would give someone like me that hasn't dated, doesn't know nothing about nothing? What's the best path to success?
Well, this should be a really fun time in your life. And I say this, people look at me and they're like, "What? This is not fun." But it is, because you don't have any constraints of midlife. Usually your children are at least on their way to adults, and you don't have parents that are telling you need to marry so and so. You get to decide who you are. I think the first part is to really delve into and learn who you are as an individual. And then write down first your three deal breakers. Everybody has three deal breakers. And I mean, hard no's. There are some that are like, maybes. Those are not hard deals. And then write down 10 musts, like 10, values, beliefs, and life goals. And when you have those all crystallized, then you can really create your dating profile if that's what you want. And make sure you look your best. You never know who you're going to meet, where you're going to meet the person. Keep your opportunities and keep yourself open to any opportunity, and say yes to everything. Say yes to the invite. Say yes to the networking event. Say yes to this, because when you put yourself in alignment with who you are, obviously, and push yourself a little bit outside of your boundaries, then you're going to be in alignment with finding the person that you want to be with.
That's interesting. And do I need to change the wardrobe? Because now let's talk a little bit about the image consultant part of you. Like, do you suggest new clothes, or do you suggest something to spark this dating and moving forward?
So you don't have to buy new clothes. I highly recommend, though, you know your colors for your skin, eye, and hair, and your personality. And when you know this, it's very, very empowering, because each color has and sends a message. And make sure that you're sending the right message, because that's important. Also, just make sure to really groom yourself well. Don't wear too much perfume or too much makeup. Make sure your clothes are pressed. Like you just imagine yourself going to a job interview, but not a job interview, because we're not going to do the job interview questions on the first date. We're
Mhm.
just going to have fun. But make sure also that you're dressing right for where you're going and what you're doing. So you got to keep all of these things kind of in the back of your mind before you go on this date. And first and foremost, just have fun.
Mm-hmm. And the fun comes through the clothes and through, because also you don't want to portray somebody you're not. Like I go to the horse, like I'm more practical in my approach, the dressing. But if I go to a gala, of course, I like to wear like a beautiful dress. So I think you have to balance, doesn't it? Like to show who
Mhm.
you are and not to dress like who you are not, because eventually
Yeah.
you'll have to show who you really are, right?
Well, and that's the thing about there's a misconception about what I do that I'm changing people or making them dress a certain way. Maybe I don't like suits and I'm not forcing you to wear a suit. I'm telling you I'm basically you're born with your DNA, your personality, your coloring, all of this. I'm just showing you those things that are going to empower you by knowing your colors, by knowing your own personality style. And then from that, how do we start creating outfits based on your lifestyle, dating, working with horses, going to networking events, and so on and so forth?
Mm-hmm. That's wonderful. So, if you want to leave the audience with a message when it comes to reaching out to you for image consultant or dating, what is something that if you had a billboard you wanted everybody to know and they know they can reach you for more information?
Well, thank you. I guess the best way is to find me on Instagram. It's Celeste Moore Image. Just send me a message if you have any questions. I'm really here just to answer anything. I do a book a free 15-minute consult to see what your goals are, if we're a good fit. And I just really want to help people be successful in your personal and professional life. And I feel that I've really getting my master's and I keep continuing this education because I feel it's so important to not stop learning and continuing to teach. So, yeah, thank you.
Wow, you're getting your master's. What is the degree, may I ask?
Yeah, in image consulting. Yeah.
Oh, wow, I didn't even know there is a master in image consultant.
Yes.
So, taking a deep breath and share one more piece of advice. Again, I'm going back to when it was hard and when it's easy and the place in between. If you had like a billboard and you can say, like, you can write a sentence or two, what would you write?
I would say that you're stronger than you realize. And if you just keep your eye on your true purpose, and if you don't know, pick something that you feel would be of purpose for you in this life and go towards that. And one step at a time, I feel like sometimes it's you think of something and you're at the end. So just keep moving forward and you're stronger than you realize.
Wow, I love this message. I hope you enjoyed this episode. The story was inspiring and it was a lot of the downs and the ups. I hope you got to learn a little bit more about image consulting and dating. And I hope you join me for the next episode.